Thank you.
Tennessee Tech head coach Matt Bragga back with the team. His third season of his second stint, 18th overall at the team with the school. Teams picked sixth in the preseason poll. Coach, just general thoughts on heading into this season.
Well, like everybody, Kyle, really excited to get started. Another year. It's outside of Christmas, this is about as good as it gets coming up here in another week or so. So really excited. We got a great group of young men, got a lot of veteran leadership back. I don't know. I'm just excited to get started. So looking forward to the year.
Is this season any different than any of your other teams? Or I mean, those are all different, but I guess how is it? How is this season, this team different than past ones?
Honestly, Kyle, since I've been back, we have had very few guys because I walked in like November of 21. So for the 22 season, everyone was new to me. And then we lost a whole bunch of guys after that 22 season and got going with 23. So we were fairly new to each other and all that stuff as well then. And so this team actually has some pieces that we've been around each other a little bit, and meaning I've been with them, they've been with me. So anytime, I don't care who you are as a coach, when you've been around your group more than a season or a year, it's helpful. They learn you, you learn them, they learn the system, they understand what you want, I understand what they need, and just get to better know each other, build better relationships because it's time, and time is big with that. So really excited about that. I think we have 7 position player starters back. I was doing this the other day. Our lineup, with what projects to be our lineup. Now there's a lot of moving parts with this still because I feel it's one of our deeper teams we've ever had, and which is a great thing. I'm not saying it's the best 9 we've ever had, but it's one of the deepest teams, if not the deepest teams I've ever had here. And so there's moving pieces with this. But if you were to tell me, hey, what's your starting 9 today? I would kind of say this is what it is. And out of those 9 guys, they have 40 years of college experience. So what is that, like 4.4 years per guy? I think that's still an attribute of COVID and all the red shirting and all the gray shirt, whatever it is. And so I love it that we're a veteran group of guys.
Is there, outside of that, is there any strength that you maybe is your team strength February 8th, but it may be maybe you'll have a different strength on May 8th? Or how do you see what'll benefit your team, this season that way?
Yeah, I think, that kind of looking at starting, one of our guys said the other day, hey, we're going to lead the country in home runs. And I don't think we will. I don't think this team is built that way. I think that one of the things I love about this team is I think this team has the ability to beat you in a lot of ways. And I think that's going to be the same right now, February 8th, as it's going to be in May or June. I think there's a lot of ways. There's a lot of athletes on this team. There's some team speed. The outfield is as good as I've had. The infield, I'm very excited about. On the mound, I think that's one thing you and I both know, that you win games on the bump. It's why it's in the center of the diamond. It's why it's elevated, because that's the position that matters the most. And so I think right now the thing I'm most anxious to see is, are we going to be able to pitch at the level that I believe we're going to be able to pitch? And I think with all my heart, I believe with all my heart that we're going to have a very, very good pitching staff, one that I'm sure right now has probably been very vastly overlooked. But we've done nothing yet. So I'm anxious to watch, okay, what's the growth from February 8th, where people say, they're just okay. They were 21-34 last year, and, we got them 6th, whatever. Well, let's see. Hopefully by the end of the year, people aren't thinking that about our club. People are thinking, hey, this club's the real deal. So that's the great thing about it. I'm anxious to see our growth and if we can accomplish what I believe this team can accomplish.
How hard is it these days to know how good any team is going to be until you see them, because rosters turn over so fast?
It's unbelievable, Kyle. And I think, again, I think COVID has lent itself to that, where, there's 25-year-olds out there. And back when I was here at Tennessee Tech last time, that wasn't the case. It was 18 to 22-year-olds, and now it's, 18 to 24, 25-year-olds. And so And you're right. Teams change so much year to year with, the transfer portal, who you get, do people know who you even got, and who did you lose? What kind of important pieces did you lose? And so until you get out there, heck, not only do others not know, heck, sometimes you don't even know as a coach until you go play the game. And I would say that any year. I would say that back in 2014, just like I'm saying it now, you really don't know. But you typically, no matter who you are as a coach, you typically have a pretty good idea what your club looks like. When you've been around it a while, hey, this team has a chance to be pretty darn good, or you know what? Oh boy, I don't know. And the good news for me is right now I don't feel that way. I feel like I know this club really, really well, and I think this team could be special.
3 new OVC teams last year, Western Illinois this year. So our 10-team makeup is vastly different than before your first go around at Tennessee Tech. Just what are your general thoughts then? We just talked about it's hard to know who's good, but what are your general thoughts on just the competitiveness of the league and how it's changed in your time?
Oh man, it's changed. Like unbelievable. I was talking to someone about this the other day, Kyle. I mean, Jacksonville State's gone, Austin Peay's gone, Eastern Kentucky's gone, Belmont's gone, Murray State's gone. And so then we've added these new teams. And so I don't know. I didn't know that much about them, but I'll say this. I mean, we had Lindenwood at home last year. They beat us 2 out of 3. We had Southern Indiana at home last year. They beat us 2 out of 3. So without already, before knowing those teams or whatever, like I've been around this business a long time, and I respect anybody in any club that is playing college baseball, because anybody can beat anybody in this thing. I mean, and I'm smart enough to know that. And I think last year proves that. I mean, they come in, they're new in the league, new to Division I baseball. We're at home, and they win the series, both those clubs. And then I think we go on the road in Arkansas, Little Rock, and they beat us in the series. And so all 3 of those teams are like, hey, we added some high quality caliber clubs to our league. And I don't know that much about Western Illinois, but heck, if it's anything like the other 3, I'm sure it'll just add to the quality of the league. And look forward to that. I mean, it's a new blueprint, so to say, and new places that I've never been to. Lindenwood yet, haven't been to Southern Indiana, I've never been to Western Illinois. So kind of looking forward to seeing some new parts of the country and new colleges.
Your team got a new playing surface. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, just thrilled, Kyle. Got brand new turf, so that's really exciting. Got padded outfield and foul line walls. It was transformative, honestly. Walking down from the weight room the other day with a couple of our young players, and they said, "Man, coach, it's unbelievable in 6 months the transformation that's taken place in terms of the facility at Tennessee Tech." Because even our locker room, we went without lockers for about 10 months because we had a water leak last year in our clubhouse. And so now even our lockers are new and got some new artwork on the walls in the hallway of our locker room. And so it's been a great transformation, and one that our young men deserve, and one that, we look forward to helping us on the field and in recruiting.
What about your schedule this year? You never shy away from competition. I know you got some good ones. How did you put it together this season?
Yeah. Knowing that we were going to have the new turf this year, we have the most home games, Kyle, I think I've ever had in my 18 seasons here now. I think we have 35 out of our 54 games are home. And so that was done on purpose, by design. Great field. We need to play at home. We were able to get Notre Dame. Notre Dame's coming down for a 3-game series. Obviously, they were just in the College World Series 2 seasons ago, I think 2022. So really excited to have them into town. I know that'll be a great challenge for us. And then, we've got all our typical midweek opponents: Middle Tennessee State, Tennessee, the Vanderbilt, Lipscomb, you name it. Those Tennessee teams who we normally play are on there as well. So to go along with the conference, we think our schedule is great. We think it's a great mix of home, away, and all that good stuff. So excited to get started.
And to kind of wrap up on that, last year you beat Tennessee, you've beaten Vanderbilt. That just has sort of become something that your teams have done over the year. How does that obviously help you not only get the win and the attention, but just to build that confidence, you know, for those OVC games?
Yeah, I mean, very, very important. I think, you know, when you look back at our program, my first go around here, when we really we got to get this thing going again, right? And the only way you get it going again is win championships. That's how you get it going. And people will say, and I know this wasn't your question, Kyle, but you know, people will say, hey, is it harder to win the first one or win the second one or whatever? It's harder to win that first one. And because once you win the first one, you get the feel, and your guys get the feel of what it's like. And I think it makes it easier to go do it again. And so our program, we got to get back to that. We got to get the feel of, okay, hey, here's what it's like to win championships. And you know, last time I was here, my last 5 seasons here, we played Vanderbilt once a year at their place. We beat them 3 out of the last 5 times we played them. Then we've been fortunate enough, you know, to beat Tennessee the last 3 times we've played them. And so those are great. Those are great teams. And I think young men in your locker room and in your clubhouse see, hey, this can happen. We can beat these teams. And I think then as you look at postseason, you know, OVC typically we're getting 1 team in. Hopefully we get 2. But as you look at postseason and you say, hey, you know, we've prepared, we've beaten these teams or teams of this caliber before. So I think when your program is able to beat those teams in the regular season, it sets yourself up. It sets yourself up for confidence, what you need to be able to win games, to win championships. And then, you know, if you're lucky enough or blessed enough to get to postseason, it sets you up for where, hey, when you go into postseason, you're like, hey, we've been on the road. We've played these teams on the road. We know what this is all about. We've beaten these teams. Let's go do it again in postseason. So I think that's why we play those games. And I think it's why any coach in our league would play those games, to be able to go there, challenge yourself, and get those W's if you can.
Coach, appreciate your time this morning. Best of luck to you and the Golden Eagles this upcoming season.
Thanks so much, Kyle, man. Really appreciate all you do for us.